Good evening and welcome to Spotlight. My name is Nuong Falong and you are watching MX24 Television, your home for fun, fearless and factual content. And this is Spotlight, where we keep the conversations relevant. Hundreds of children are trafficked every year in Ghana. But what are the names and faces behind those statistics? Who better to hear the story from than the victims? Today in the studio, we have Hope Ajika, who is a survivor, and he's going to be talking to us. We also have Emmanuel Asei Kanga. He's a social worker from the International Justice Mission, an organization that has been working with trafficked children and trying to rescue a lot of them. He's also going to be speaking to us about the work they've been doing in Ghana. Gentlemen, welcome. Good evening.
Good evening.
So let me start from Hope first. Hope, where do you come from in Ghana?
Volta region.
Which part of Volta region?
Ehi.
Peki?
Ehi.
Ehi. Okay, which part of Volta region is that? Around where?
Around Agbozume side.
Okay, I've heard of Agozome.
Yeah.
Okay. How did all of this start for you?
Actually, it started when I was young, and I was staying with my mom in Ehi.
Can you be louder?
Yes.
We can't hear you.
I was staying with my mom in Ehi.
Okay.
And I was
It
schooling.
was just you and your mom?
And my grandma.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was schooling. I was in class 4 by then.
How many years was this? Do you know how many years you were?
I'm 13 years old.
Okay.
When I was in class 4. And a certain woman came to my mom and tell my mom that his brother is at somewhere looking for a boy that will work with him so that he'll enroll me in school as well. And my mom said, oh, when his brother is going to enroll me in school, he will let me go.
But you were already in school, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so why?
I don't know.
Why?
Yeah.
Was she struggling to take care of you?
The woman.
Your mother?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
She's taking care of me.
What does she do? Back then, what was she doing?
She sells biscuits and those food stuff. And my grandma too was preparing gari. Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask where your father was?
I don't know where my father was by then.
Okay. So when this woman came, do you know where the woman was from? Where did she come from?
He lives around our community.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's part of you people?
Yeah.
You know her already?
Yeah, I know her very well.
Okay. So she came and she said she has a brother.
Yeah.
Who wants someone to come and stay with him?
Yeah.
And work for him?
No. Enroll him in school.
Okay, so he just wants to take you to school?
Yeah.
I see.
And what I will do to help his brother is when I come back from school, I will help his brother to
you will be working in the house?
Yeah, like sewing net. Mend the net.
Why? Was he a fisherman or what?
Yeah,
okay.
He's a fisherman.
Okay. So you'll be helping him to mend his net?
Yeah.
Mainly helping him in his business?
Yeah.
Okay. Was he going to pay you for working?
I don't know.
Okay. So your mother said okay?
Yeah.
Right?
Because my mother thought I'm going to school.
What about your grandmother? Didn't she say anything?
She didn't say anything.
So how long did it take before your mother decided you should go and stay with the man?
It didn't take any time. Let me say, like, they come to me this morning and then the next day, I'm gone.
Oh, that was fast.
Yeah.
I see. The man too, where was he living at the time? Was it close to your village?
No, no, no.
Where was he?
He was staying at Kwame Krum.
Kwame Krum.
Yeah.
Where is that?
But I don't know how he managed to get to my hometown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where is this Kwame Krum? Do you have any idea?
It's at Abotuase side.
Also in the Volta region?
Yeah.
Okay.
But actually, they don't speak Ewe. I don't know. They speak some kind of language.
So you went.
Yeah.
Did your mother ask you whether you wanted to go?
No.
She just said you have to.
Yeah. So far as she's
You
my
have-
mom, I just accepted,
got up and
yeah.
you went. When you got there, did you like the environment?
No.
Was he living with, did he have a family or he was staying alone?
He have
What
a
was-
family.
Okay. How many
His-
people?
His wife and his children. They were plenty.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did they have other boys or girls who were also there working for him like you?
Yeah.
Okay. How many
We
were
have
there?
a lot of people, but actually I can't remember the number. But we are plenty.
Plenty, 10, 11?
Yeah.
A
Green.
lot. Were there girls among them?
Yeah, girls.
So all these people were there doing what? Helping him with the ship fishing?
Yeah.
Was he a very big fisherman or what?
Yeah. He was a very big fisherman.
Okay, okay. Was he paying any of them or all of them for school?
Actually, I don't know that he's paying them or not. I
But
don't
you
know.
went because they promised to put you in school.
Yeah.
So when you went, did he put you in school?
No.
They did not put you in school.
As I went, he told me that I did not come here for school, so I'm coming to work for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you happy with that?
No, I'm not happy. I'm very sad.
But so you left class 4
Yeah.
and you came there and you stopped working. Stopped going to school and you started working.
Yeah.
How long did you work for him?
5 years. 5 years.
Wow. In those 5 years, you did not go to school.
No, no.
And did your mother ever come and visit?
No, my mother didn't come and visit me, but he calls me on phone.
So you talked to her?
Yeah. I talked to her only twice.
In 5 years?
Yeah.
And did you ever go and visit her?
No.
Oh. So in those 5 years, did you tell your mother that you were not in school?
I didn't tell her. Actually, when my mom called, I will stand behind my master, both master. So I
Okay.
can't say,
Anything?
yeah.
Okay, so he's standing there.
She will just ask of my health and then how am I doing, and me too, I will say I'm okay.
Okay.
Because I'm standing with my master, I can't say anything.
And the other children, were they also talking to their parents?
For them, I've never seen them talking to their parents.
So in those 5 years, when you went, did he teach you how to mend the boat or something? What work were you doing exactly every day when you wake up?
Actually, every day when I wake up, I go to the lake. I and his children,
What lake was this?
the Vuta Lake.
Okay.
So they teach me how to dive inside the water and go and cast the net out.
Did you know how to swim?
They teach me.
They teach you.
Yeah.
So when you went, him and his children taught you how to swim
His children taught me how to swim.
and how to go under the water.
Yeah.
And go and do what?
Actually, the net is like we have small trees that they are inside the water. So actually, when we cast the net inside the lake, it hook the.
The net.
Mm,
So you go and release.
yeah.
You go and release it.
Yeah.
I see. And when you're done, what next?
After that, I help paddling the boat, scooping the water from the boat. After that, we go to farm to fetch firewood to smoke the fish.
So his wife knew about all this.
Yeah.
She never said anything.
Mm.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Give me a moment. I'll
Okay.
come back to you. Let me go to Emmanuel.
Okay.
Emmanuel, so you tell us what your organization does first.
Okay, so International Justice Mission is an international NGO. We have our headquarters in the US. Our work generally is to bring freedom to oppressed people, to the vulnerable. In Ghana, our work focuses on child trafficking on the Volta Lake, and we are hopeful that we'll be able to contribute to bringing an end to child trafficking on the Volta Lake by rescuing the victims and partnering with care homes and other partners to provide all the services that they would require to help them recover and be ready for home, as well as also strengthening the public justice system to ensure that victims are protected and then justice is served and perpetrators punished.
Why do you settle on child trafficking?
So child trafficking is quite a serious issue in Ghana. The only unfortunate thing about it is most people do not accept that it exists. So even when you talk about it, it sounds to them like, well, you're kind of telling a story. But our focus on child trafficking is that it really exists in Ghana on the Volta Lake. And it takes a toll on the children when they are trafficked. It affects their well-being, it affects their future, and it also takes a toll even on our development as a country. So as an organization, we are focused on helping bring this menace to an end, just so children live in freedom.
How many children do you work with?
At the moment, we have worked with over 200 children since we started our
In
work
5
in Ghana.
years?
Yes,
That's a
since
lot.
2015. And these children are from many different backgrounds, from different parts of the country, usually from the central, Greater Accra, Volta, sometimes the northern sector of the country as well.
When these children are trafficked, what are they used for?
With the work we do, all the children we have were trafficked and used for fishing, fishing on the Volta Lake. So just as Hope described, these children are actually forced to dive into the lake to untangle nets that have been stuck to trees in the lake. You know, the Volta Lake area was a forest before it became a lake. So those trees that were in the forest are still in there. Those are the ones that the nets get stuck to. They are also forced to scoop water from the boat, because sometimes when they are on the lake, it collects water into the boat.
Basically
And if you
fishing
don't,
activities.
exactly. So
Do the people, the culprits, know what they're doing?
I would say yes. And it is exploitative on their part.
Because they're not paying these children.
Exactly. This is free labor for them. Actually, very, very cheap labor for them. And for
All they do
a
is
child,
feed them.
yes, and they are not even well fed. For a child, they are able to actually dictate to them what to do and what not to do. Whether the child is tired, ready for work or not, the
You
child
have
has no
to.
option than to follow. But if they were to employ an adult, there would be specific rules of engagement in terms of their
And there would be a
employment.
salary.
Exactly. So it's actually cheaper for them to exploit these innocent children just for their individual benefits.
Who do you cooperate with in order to identify these children and try to free them?
So as an organization, we work collaboratively with our government partners. We work with the anti-human trafficking units of the Ghana Police Service. We also work with the Department of Social Welfare, and we work with the state attorneys. So the Department of Social Welfare provides support to our social workers like me when the children are rescued, and then we provide all the relevant services to them to recover from the experience and to trace their homes, assess their homes, ensure they are safe before they are returned while we work on the children's recovery.
I was just going to ask that when you rescue them, do you take them back to their parents?
We do.
What if their parents can't take care of them? I mean, there's a reason the parents let them go to begin with.
So that's the reason for the home tracing and assessment. The home assessment helps us to assess the economic situation of the home, whether it's economically ready for the children's return. It also helps us to assess their understanding of trafficking and child abuse in general, whether they are actually in the position to ensure that when the children are brought back home, they are actually protected and are not at risk of rape trafficking or being abused further. So a lot of these assessments help us to prepare the family for the return of the child. One other thing is, because the children have been trafficked over a period, they lose touch with families. So before the reintegration, there is a lot of effort through supervised phone calls and supervised family visits, so the children are able to re-establish that bond with their families before they go back. Apart from that, once we educate the families on the rights and responsibilities of the children, it also empowers them to protect their children's rights. And we also let them know what some of the possible challenges are when the children come back, because these are children who have been placed in a care home. Perhaps they have gotten used to sleeping on good beds, using the water closet, and having a 3-square meal every day. But the situation in the home would normally be different. So we also prepare the families so they know that these are some changes we are likely to experience in our child when he or she returns, so they are better prepared for them. We also let them understand that because of the traumatic experience of these children, when they return home, the parents and the family generally should not put them in a situation where they become re-traumatized. Yes, so all these are put in place just to ensure that when the children go back home, they are safe. Yeah.
How young are these children?
Some are trafficked for as young as 4 years. Yes. As young as 4 years, some children are trafficked to work on the lake.
And when they're rescued, when you do this reintegration, what next for them? Do they go back to school? Do they learn a trade? Or are their situations different? What happens to the future of these children?
So it differs per child. At the point of rescue, after reassuring the children that they are in a place of safety and not a place of abuse, and helping keep them calm, we also interview them in a trauma-informed way. This interview is meant to collect more information about their families, about the experience on the lake, about life generally, how things were before they were trafficked, and what their future aspirations are. This information helps us to draft what we call a care plan. The care plan helps us to know what particular services each particular child would require to help them recover. As part of the services, they are taken through what we call provision of basic education. So we provide basic literacy skills for them just so they are able to get into regular school. I would use Hope's case as an example. Hope had to be out of school for 5 years. So he would have missed out on a lot. So in Hope's situation, for instance, after rescue and the relevant services, he was provided basic literacy education. And then after that, discussions were had with him, and he decided that he would want to go to a vocational training school. There are other children who would also want to go back to regular school. So it depends on each particular child. Now, as reintegration...
Who pays for the vocational education and the schooling and all that?
So while they are in the shelter pays for that.
Okay.
At
when
some
they're released
points,
to their parents?
At some points, we also support the shelters to pay. When they are reintegrated to the families, these are all factors that are considered. If the family situation is such that they are not economically empowered enough, we work with other partners to economically empower them.
Okay.
We always look at ensuring that there is sustainability in the work that we do. So it's best to provide a source of livelihood for the family before the child is even reintegrated, so that they're able to go through the process and have their business well established before the child comes. Because as an NGO, as a shelter, we cannot provide care for the children for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's important that we work together with the families in that regard.
Very interesting revelations. We're talking about child trafficking, which ties in strongly with child labor. because that's mainly what children are trafficked for. We're speaking with Emmanuel Asei Kanga, who is a social worker from the International Justice Mission. We have a short movie that details some elements of a young boy who was also trafficked. We'll just show you some snippets of that and come back to the conversation. Stay with us.
I am 5 years old. I follow grandfather to the farm and watch what he's doing. I am 9 years old. I never want to leave this place. I always help my grandfather in the market.
Akpere mu adagbare ji o. Never know boy you akpoji now.
Aboboruku asragbale vivie.
Asia.
When I left home with my uncle, I didn't see my grandparents anymore. The first time I went on the lake, I wanted to escape, but I didn't know the way.
Get it, Chairman!
Welcome back to Spotlight. We're still discussing child trafficking in Ghana. And we are speaking with a survivor here who was introduced earlier, Hope. Hope, I am back to you. You were talking about how you used to go under the water to release the nets, you know, from the trees. How long in a day do you work? When you get up, what time do you wake up? And for how long do you work?
Actually, we get up at dawn.
Dawn, like what time?
3 o'clock.
3
4
in the
o'clock.
morning?
Yeah, sometimes 4.
And you start work?
At that dawn.
Okay. You enter the water at that dawn?
Yeah. And then we'll close at 9.
9 what? A.m.?
9 a.m.
Okay.
And then we'll come back. After that, we'll come and prepare. We'll come and remove the fishes inside the net, and then the girls will come and take it and send it to the house to go and smoke. So we two will be preparing the net for to go to the fishing lake again.
Okay.
And then set another one.
Okay. What time do you close?
Actually, we normally closed, let me say, when we went to the lake and then we cast the net like that, we'll come back and then go for another one. It's not only one net.
So
we
you
have
come and
different
go.
nets, and we use bamboos to fish as well.
So what time do you finish all of this?
We finish all of this sometimes 10 o'clock in the evening.
10 in the night, 10 p.m.
In the night. And that night, we have a net called Adrani.
Okay.
That one we used to pull it. That one too, we go from that 10 to 1 o'clock.
What time do you sleep? Because you woke up at 3 or 4.
Yeah,
You went into the water, you pulled the net, you did some bamboos, you came out, you took the fishes out for the girls to go and smoke it. Then you went back again to do the same process. Then you came back, then you went again, you said 10 p.m., you have another net that you do at night.
yeah,
So around 10, then you go back till around 1.
1.
So what time will you
go
sleep?
and sleep.
Then you go and sleep.
Yeah. So when it's exactly 4 or 3, then
You wake up again.
Yeah,
And start again. So you are sleeping about 3 hours
yeah.
a day. Hey, and you are going underwater, you are not sleepy. Were you ever scared
Yeah, I'm scared.
of the water?
Yeah.
But you have
Actually, when I went there, I'm scared, but I've become used to it. So
if you refuse, what will he do?
I said I've become used to it. So that fear is not inside me again. Yeah.
What I'm saying is, when you were there, does anyone ever get up and say, today I won't work? You know, can you refuse to work?
No. Even if you refuse, they will beat you.
The man will beat you or
No,
will
not
be-
the man.
Okay.
His children.
Okay, his children will be... So his children were supervising you?
Yeah.
I see. What time do you eat in all of this?
Yeah. We eat 9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. And evening to 9. Or
You eat-
sometimes 10.
9 in the morning, 9 in the evening. In the afternoon?
No afternoon food. We only eat twice.
Okay. 12. You are fasting. 12 to 12. It's 12 hours. 9 to 9.
It's
So
not
you-
sometimes to 12 in the
Night.
morning.
So you can eat 12 or 9.
We don't normally eat on time.
Okay. So, and you're sleeping 3 hours. You're eating at a 12-hour interval. And you are diving underwater, working around the clock.
Yeah.
Did you ever fall sick?
No. Sick. No, I've never felt sick before.
Okay.
Actually, when the first day that I went there, I felt sick. And my boat master took care of me. He
Okay.
was providing me some herbal medicine, and then I got okay. Then I started the work. Since then, I've never
Falling sick.
fall sick.
When you people go under the water, did anything ever happen to any of the children?
Yeah,
What happened?
even me, it has happened to me before.
What happened to you?
I was going under the lake, and then I was on speed because I want to come back and then get some air to breathe.
Yeah.
So I was going, and the tree, the stick that is underwater, and then it took me,
So that.
and then I was bleeding. The blood was coming out.
So what did you do?
So I came out and then tell my master's son that this what happened to me. He didn't mind me.
So you have to continue the work.
Yeah.
Did-
People died. A lot of things happened.
People died there.
Yeah.
How did they die? What happened to them? How
Because
did?
they are tired, and then you see, if you dive under the water, you get tired.
Yeah.
So
How long do you have to
people-
stay there?
people stay. For me, like, let me see, 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Yeah,
6
so-
minutes. You are not breathing.
Yeah.
How? Are you? Oh my God. You know, I'm thinking of even for 1 minute when you go underwater, it's difficult. You are in a
When-
hurry.
Yeah.
Even that, you take in some air and then you'll be releasing it
Yeah.
small. But 1 minute is a lot of pressure. You release all that air. So if you're under there for 6 minutes, you will start to drink water.
When you are doing it on and on and on, you become
Used to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it
So-
increases as you get used to it.
Yeah.
But didn't anyone ever drown?
Yes, I've done before, but I've done before.
Under there?
Yeah.
And then who came to rescue you?
Oh, I forced myself and then,
You came out?
yeah.
Oh my goodness. This is very interesting. While you were there, did you ever think about your mother?
Yeah,
Whether
I do.
she was...
I think about my mom every day.
Did you think about telling her what was going on?
Yeah.
Did you ever get the chance to do it?
No.
Never.
Never.
For 5 years. When did these people show up? How did you meet them, the mission? The people came to rescue you.
Okay, let me see. We come back from the lake one day, and then it's just like we are preparing our net for another fishing, and then I heard the boat coming. They
came on a boat?
Yeah, boat. And one of my master's son was telling his brother that the police people are coming. And he answered that, oh, they are not coming to do anything. So some people have meeting with his father. So they are the people coming. They are the people coming to see his father. And before the people will get closer to us, and he realized that it was police men that came, and then they mentioned my name 5 times, and then I respond. When they mentioned my name, actually, my heart was beating.
You were scared?
Yes, I was very scared.
Thought you had done something?
Yeah, they used to tell us that people come for children, and then they use for money rituals and then things.
That's what they tell you there?
Yeah, so I was very scared at that moment, but after they rescued me and then they bring me, and I realized that, these people are helping me. And I'm not the only one that they rescued.
They rescued other people?
Yeah.
How many people did they rescue that day?
Yeah.
Did it happen in one day or it took time?
Actually, for my rescue, they rescued the first batch. The first batch before
they come for you.
Yeah.
So you're in the second batch.
Yeah.
When they came for you, what happened? Where did they take you?
They took me to a shelter.
Okay.
Yeah.
After that, have you been reunited with your mother?
Yeah.
When you first saw your mother, how did it feel?
Actually, the day I saw my mom, I was happy as well, but I was sad too.
Were you angry?
No, I'm not angry, because it's not my mom's fault. And
she didn't know.
Yeah.
So what time did you and her talk, and you were able to tell her everything that happened to you?
Yeah, I told her everything that happened to me.
What did she say?
She was crying. She said, oh, then I have got a lot of pains, and said she's very sorry. She don't know. Because the woman just told my mom that I will be enrolled in school. So.
And that woman, did you ever see her again?
No.
You never saw her again? Are you in touch with any of the other survivors, the people you were there with? Do you have friends from there?
I have friends, but all of them are rescued.
Okay, that's a good thing. What do you intend to do now with your life?
Now I'm in school.
Which school?
Social for vocational.
What are you learning?
Training. Electricals.
Okay, that's what you want to do.
Yeah, but I want to use the electricals and enter into army, a soldier.
You want to become a soldier in future?
Yeah.
I see. What about soldiers do you like?
The army.
Okay.
Army soldiers.
Why do you want to become one?
Oh, I like them a lot because I know soldiers, they help and they protect
people.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you also want to be rescuing people?
Oh, of course, yes.
That's a good thing. Let me go to Emmanuel. Emmanuel, so who is paying for his school electrical studies?
So we have partnered with the shelter where he was placed. So together we are catering for his education.
Okay.
Yeah.
He says he heard his name 5 times. Is that routine or what? Is that the code for rescue or something?
No, it's not routine. So usually every rescue is unique. And for some of these rescues, at the point of rescue, sometimes like it has to be done swiftly because
Okay.
it's also very risky.
Okay. Why is
Yeah.
it risky?
Well,
The
these
people
are
ever
island
attack you or
communities and
something?
you can easily get attacked,
Okay.
even with the police. So it has to be very swift. The mentioning of the name about 5 times, it's, out of fear. So if maybe we get to the house,
Or you want to be sure. it's
exactly.
him.
So normally, most victims at the point of rescue, if you mention the name, may not respond the first time or the second time. Because they would also want to be sure who is calling them.
Like he's saying, they told them that people
Exactly,
come
they
for
have
them.
been brainwashed.
So I think this is to prevent them from running away or going with somebody.
Exactly, yeah. And some of the perpetrators actually go to the extra mile of letting them know what happens after rescue. So after rescue, the child will be taken to a processing center for the interviews and placed in a shelter. They'll be well cared for, they'll be fed well, clothed, and all that. Some actually use these services as a bait to deceive them that all these things are done just so they can be used for those money rituals.
So they know the process. They know people come and rescue these children.
Yeah.
Which means they've been perpetrators for a long time.
Yes. And, the business of rescuing and reintegrating children is not a recent thing. So I believe that some of the children who have been reintegrated with their families, as they share their experiences with them, word also goes out. So they use this to deceive the children. So normally, at the point of rescue, they are very suspicious.
Has anyone ever refused to go with you?
Yes, we've had some few instances.
Well,
And
how
it's
will
quite
you-
normal. It's actually expected. Personally, I say that the whole rescue process could sometimes be traumatizing for the child. This is because it has some semblance with the trafficking process. So they are trafficked by people they do not know. They are going to places they do not know. And they have been deceived that they are going to be enrolled in school or something. Now, the rescue is done by people they do not know. They are
already
going to a
suspicious
place
of so
they do
many
not
things.
know.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of uncertainty. So
is
it is
happening
actually
again?
expected if a child tries to resist being rescued. And also because of the brainwashing that has been done. So it's quite normal for them to react that way. And that is
Emmanuel.
where our work comes as social workers.
You're still watching Spotlight. We have been speaking to Hope, who's a young man who was trafficked when he was 13 and in class 4 to work on the Volta Lake, helping a fisherman. His experience is quite traumatic, but luckily for him, he was rescued by the International Justice Mission, by Emmanuel and his team. We'll go for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue the discussion. Stay with us. Welcome back to Spotlight. We're still discussing child trafficking, focusing specifically on the story of Hope Ajika, who was trafficked in the Volta region to work on the Volta Lake. If you listen to his narrative, there are hundreds, probably thousands of children who were trafficked for that specific purpose. Most of them underage, and most of them working on empty stomachs, long hours, little sleep, going through all sorts of experiences, some of them drowning, many of them dying. and these are perpetrated by people within the communities. Hope, what does the future look like for you? When you think about the future, what do you think about?
I think my future is bright. Yeah, because I know I will make it in life by the grace of God. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about why you were trafficked? You ever think about
Yeah.
the things that happened while you were there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
How do you feel towards the man you were working for?
For the man, I like the man very, very much, so much. And I love him very much
Why?
because
There's someone who put you through so much. Why do you like him?
I like him because he's very calm, master to me. But his children, yeah, actually the man, he doesn't go for the fishing. He always stay in the house. So his children,
Were the ones doing all this?
yeah.
You
to
think
me,
he doesn't know what the children were doing?
oh, he doesn't know. I
Nobody
mean,
told him.
no, nobody told him. But when when they beat me, and then I come to my master and I told him that, oh, this is what your son did to me, and he will question his son, and then like a form of warning him that he shouldn't touch me. Yeah, he does that,
Interesting.
but for that, his son will beat me again.
Hey,
That why
did you go and report?
So in case when that happened, they beat me, I don't go and report
you don't go and
again.
report, you keep quiet. Because
And
if
I
you report,
know-
they'll beat you
yeah,
again.
they will beat me again. So,
Oh, life.
but my master is very good master.
I see.
then
I see.
I like him.
Is this trauma bonding or something? Emmanuel, you are the social worker. We don't hear much about social workers in Ghana anyway.
Yeah. I would say yes, it is. You know, sometimes because of
I mean,
the
there are people who
experience.
even still love the abusers.
Exactly.
So I
Because of the experience, the attention is not on the actual cause. So he would be looking at other factors.
Yeah.
Like he said, he came across as a protective master.
Figure.
Yes,
Someone
and
was protecting him.
his sons were the ones abusing him. But the fact of the matter is, it is this same master who deceived him and moved him
Into-
from home
Yeah.
into the situation of abuse. And the promise of enrollment in school and all that, it was made by the same master.
Yeah.
So it's from the perspective of trauma, I can understand
Yeah.
where he's
Yeah.
coming from. Yeah.
Hope, did you ever tell your master, ask him about school because he promised you school? Did
I
you ever
do.
ask him, oh, when am I going to school?
Oh, I do.
And what
I
did he say?
asked him, but he didn't say anything better. He just told me that, oh, I'll go. He will put me in school.
But it
That's
never
all.
happened.
Yeah.
It never happened. Emmanuel, how did you find him in particular? Because when your people went there, they mentioned his name. How did you know his name?
Okay. So in Hope's rescue, one child was rescued earlier who was working around the same place. And this child gave information about other children who were also working there. So it was through the information he provided that we got to know about Hope and the other children who were also working
the
around
child
there.
mentioned names. Was it
He
a girl or a
actually-
boy?
No, a boy. He actually mentioned the names. So normally in our assessments with the children when they are rescued, we also ask if there are other children they
Over
know
there.
who work on the lake as trafficked children. So at that point, some would mention names of other children who they are working with and all that. So it was through that this child gave the information, and Hope is here today.
Do you think there are some, what if they don't mention someone's name? How does a person get rescued?
So sometimes there is this snowballing effect. So maybe we have Hope. Hope mentions Adwa. We're able to trace Adwa. Adwa mentions Kwesi Menu. So sometimes it just works that way. And also, when the rescue happens and the police have custody of the perpetrator, if the perpetrator has other children working with them, they would have to release those children if they have
So
not
you
been
assess
rescued yet.
them. But
Yes.
some of them are usually their own children too.
They hardly actually work with their own children.
They work with
They
other
hardly work
people's- other
with their
people's
own
children
children.
they use for that.
Exactly. Even if they would involve their children, it is
Very minor work.
very something insignificant, you know. So they actually exploit other people's children for the benefit of theirs.
What happens to the perpetrator?
So after rescue, we would like to see perpetrators brought to justice. And thankfully, we have had some instances of convictions. I think over the period, we've had a total of about 29 convictions.
Okay,
Yes, and
that's a start.
yes, that's actually a very good number, because trafficking was not much regarded even as a crime. You know, so to be able to get 29 convictions, that's quite a lot. Yeah. We just want to see the perpetrators brought to justice, just to serve as a deterrent to others, so they don't perpetrate the crime of trafficking.
Hope, let me just come to you because I want to know, all this time, 5 years that you worked, did a man ever give you any money and say this is payment for your service?
No,
Never.
it doesn't.
Never any money
No,
at all.
no.
This is serious, you know, and you were not feeding well. You went through so many things. What systems, from your angle, Emmanuel, are put in place, not just for those who have been rescued, but for other children, just so we can avoid having other children become victims of trafficking?
So we engage in a lot of public education, like this opportunity that we have to educate people about trafficking, its consequences, what signs to actually look out for to know that perhaps this child is a victim of trafficking. We do that in churches, we do that at community meetings, we engage children in school, we engage religious leaders, and like Hope is sharing his story, other survivors who have gone through the process and have fully recovered and are willing to share their story. We also encourage them to do that, just to get the message out there.
What do I look out for? What will show me or signify that a child has been trafficked? And maybe a child I'm interacting with, how do I know?
So for children who have been trafficked, they are usually very anxious and almost all the time, like looking over their shoulder to see who is looking out for them. They are afraid. Most of the time, they are not well dressed, in tattered
Shabby.
clothing. Most of them would have some skin diseases, rashes all over. Some have unkempt hair. They look malnourished. And if you ask them questions, you would realize they are looking out to see if someone is approaching before they have to answer you. These are all signs that would let you know that perhaps this child is a victim of trafficking. And even with this, like there are general signs to show that a child is experiencing some form of abuse. If you ask them about where they come from, they would normally mention a place that is not the community, and who they live with. They may say, I'm living with this man. How is he related to you? I don't know him. So these are all things that would point that perhaps this child is trafficked. Another thing is, one way perpetrators try to hide that there's a trafficked child is that they give their surnames to the children. So when you ask the child's name, he would have been told by the master that you mentioned this as your name, and it's the same surname as the master. So if you ask, it will come across as if it's the master's own child.
Yeah.
We have had quite a number of those cases. And these are all things that they also try to put in place to cover for the crime that
What happens
they
when
do.
you find children you can't trace their parents?
So for children whose parents can't be traced, we
Some
consider,
are probably even orphans.
yes, we consider long-term care. but would mostly consider foster care first
Okay.
before long-term care in a shelter. This is because the fact of the matter is institutionalization of children is not the best way to raise them. Every child has the right to grow up in a family setting. So we would want to exhaust all family tracing options and be sure that there is really no family member before we consider foster care. And if that fails, then the last option would be to consider long-term care in the shelter.
If I find a child who's been trafficked or I have suspicions, how do I contact you?
So the first thing to do would be to contact the police to report, because
police.
trafficking is a crime.
And sometimes the police are very slow. You report, maybe you have to be following up. Nobody has the time to be following up.
So you report to the police or go to the Department of Social Welfare. Police should be
Okay.
first. So at the police, there is the anti-human trafficking unit.
So we ask
They
for
have
that.
been trained specifically
For that.
for trafficking. So if a case of suspected trafficking goes to them, they would actually fast track it to ensure that the child is rescued. Yeah.
Emmanuel, do you have any closing words?
My closing words, I would just want viewers to know that trafficking is real. And it takes a toll on the victims. We all have a role to play in ending trafficking by reporting when we have suspicions. And as parents, it's important that we strive hard to take care of our children by ourselves. Nobody can take care of your child better than you. It doesn't matter the socioeconomic circumstances, challenges you are experiencing. Once you tune your mind to it that you will do everything within your power to take care of your child, you would be able to do that. People will just deceive you.
Thank you so much. Emmanuel Asay Kanga is a social worker with the International Justice Mission. We also spoke with Hope Ajika, who is a survivor. My name is Nwong Falong. This is Spotlight. Good evening.